My name is Max Haag and welcome to the 2050 Life Purpose Podcast. Today, very special guest, Erick Godsey. Great to have you on the 2050 Podcast, man.
Thank you for having me on, brother.
What's your life purpose, Erick? Why are you here? Why are you doing what you're doing?
My life purpose is to create the most empirically effective online intervention for treating depression and anxiety. And I want to create essentially what would be a pragmatic philosophy that can help people even if I'm dead.
So, when you think about that philosophy and 31 years ahead to the year 2050, do you imagine anything where you say, okay, I want to have this impact in the world, I want to have achieved this, either externally or internally?
So, I've thought about what image can I imagine in my mind that would exemplify everything that I'm trying to do. And this is going to sound grandiose, but this is the image that I imagined in my mind that would represent all this work that I would hope to do before I die. And it's to shake whose ever hand it is that's awarding me a Nobel Prize in psychology for creating some type of system that is empirically more effective than standard one-on-one intervention, that is scalable, that is implementable through the internet, and that can potentially help thousands or hundreds of thousands of people without it being costly and with it being accessible, and that it would revolutionize the way we do psychiatry.
Wow. So how are you going to make that happen? What are you working on right now to make that a reality?
Yeah. Well, right now, I think honing the tools that I give people when people ask me, what do I do? Because I have a podcast and because I work for Aubrey and because I'm active on social media, people ask me, and they like this weekend is a perfect example. People will share with me like their most traumatic experience, and they'll tell me, what do I do? I've tried this, and this. And when you talk to people, people's bodies will give you feedback, even that they aren't aware is giving you, about like, is what I'm saying making sense? Is what I'm saying resonating? Like you can see it in someone's face if what you said like struck a chord, you know, like that's like a metaphor that we use. Like there's something inside of you that doesn't talk, that's smarter than the part of you that talks. And I think one of the ways it talks or that it communicates is through your body. So I'm just constantly honing the tools and the tactics and the techniques and the stories that I give people. And I'm paying attention to like what works and what doesn't work. And the stuff that works consistently, I'm going to write it down and I'm going to codify it. And I'm going to try to give it pictures and metaphors and stories that help teach it. And you know, I'll use my podcast as a way to share these stories, and then, you know, I'll make an online course that will implement these techniques, and then I'll probably write a book one day that shares, you know, kind of the overarching story, and then I'll probably do workshops, and then I'll probably start a company where like the focus is to create a platform that gives these interventions in a way that's scalable and affordable. So, by talking to people.
Great. So imagine 1 million people listening to this. How can people help you build that platform and work on your life purpose? Can people support you in any way?
Yeah. I think the best way to support me right now, honestly, would be, I have a journaling course that I have on my website, and it would be to take the course and to give blazingly honest feedback on like what parts worked, what didn't work, what you would want to see, what was in there that you don't want to see. And I think the quickest way to make something amazing is to get feedback from actual humans on whatever the thing is. A lot of people want to make their thing alone so nobody can judge it, and then they'll make the perfect thing and then they'll give it. I don't think it works that way.
Yeah.
So I think the most practical way would be to either engage with the course or engage with the content that I put out on the podcast or my Instagram and just give honest feedback and like don't just be nice, just be honest, you know? And then I will constantly temper my ego and the products by getting feedback from actual people.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining the 2050 podcast, Erick.
Thank you. This is a really cool idea. Like, I can see the magic of like hearing 100 people's core purpose in 5 to 10 minutes.
Man, appreciate your feedback. Thank you, man.
Thank you, brother.